When asked how he wants to be remembered, Luis Felipe Madeira Figo says he wishes to be thought of only as a good footballer. But it's unlikely his dream will ever come true. Figo represents considerably more than that to his native country, Portugal, as well as to the rest of the world. His genius and humility have turned Figo into a genuine world star. A new international spotlight has been focused on Portuguese football, as well as on his rapidly transforming hometown of Lisbon. There's no doubt Figo will be remembered as much, much more than just another footballer. Figo's life seems more fairy tale than reality. While countless childhood dreams go unfulfilled, Figo has realized his, football being the vehicle. The shy child from an even more unassuming country has reached the pinnacle of success and is recognized as one of the finest football players on the planet. Figo's ball control, his precise passing, and his incredible goal-scoring ability make up the total package. This package doesn't come cheap, however. In fact, in the summer of 2000, Real Madrid were willing to pay $50 million for his services, hoping that Figo would bring them the UEFA Champions League. With all the money he could ever need, the looks of a movie star, a beautiful Swedish model for a wife, and the admiration of the worldwide footballing community, Figo's life definitely seems like a fairy tale, especially to Figo himself. On the night of the 4th of November 1972, Figo was born in the São Jorge do Arraios hospital. The baby weighed a little more than 4 kilos, but despite his size, Figo wasn't a healthy infant.
My delivery was a little difficult because he was 3 weeks overdue and he didn't want to be born.
Even after leaving hospital, Figo's health continued to be a problem, as cries from a baby with constant stomach aches and earaches echoed throughout their small suburban neighborhood.
After he turned 2 years old, he didn't want to eat. It was very difficult.
Even though she worked many hours a week, Figo's mother took good care of her baby, who with each passing day grew healthier and healthier. In time, the child grew strong enough to walk, and soon after that began chasing a rag ball around their flat, kicking goals through open doorways.
He played football here.
Since he didn't have any siblings, Figo spent much of his time with his cousin, Paula.
Family is always very important, and my cousin Paola, when she was younger, spent a lot of time with me, and in a certain way was very close to me. She was the sister that I never had.
We spent time together. We played, we jumped, we ran, we spent time at home watching TV. We played with Legos, we listened to music, we did things that kids 5, 6 or 7 years old like to do.
By the time Luis had turned 2, he'd been enrolled in playgroup, and afterwards would walk around the quiet streets of Cova da Piedade. As he aged, his character began to develop, but his body lagged behind. The boy had a very small appetite, and this lack of nutrition affected his growth early on.
He hid his food because he didn't want to eat. He was very skinny.
I had to learn how to do many things by myself. And I had to learn on how to be responsible because I practiced every afternoon, and I had to go to school in the mornings. Then I learned how to be responsible because I wanted to play football.
Responsible he was in all matters, with the exception of his studies. Figo disliked most of his subjects, mathematics and grammar in particular. He always managed to pass, but never excelled. Yet despite his lackluster attitude to studying, Figo was certainly never seen as a problem child and was respected by teachers and students alike.
I was an average student. I had the grades that I needed in order to pass.
Seated in his classroom chair, Figo would gaze through the window at the school's muddy football pitch. The field was by no means of the highest quality, but it was more than good enough for Figo and his mates.
Na altura, como hoje ainda, não temos pavilhões.
This school had limited space for practice fields. So what the students did during the recess was play ball in the courtyard.
Por isso eles entretinham-se a jogar à bola.
But that didn't seem to bother Luis Figo, because near his house there was a field on which he used to play for hours on end with neighbours and friends. It was here that Figo forged a lifelong friendship with a boy just 3 months older, Miguel Brazal.
Pero yo, Luis y otro más, uno, dos.
Luis, the other kids, and I built a strong relationship. We practiced at Sporting at the same time. We went to the same school for 2 years.
Para la escuela, porque estudamos juntos 2 años.
Es uno de mis mejores amigos, es un amigo de infancia.
He is one of my best friends. He is a childhood friend with whom I have shared many things. We studied together, we played together, and we have a friendship that would last forever.
Que perduran pela vida fora, ¿no? Hasta el momento.
Their strong friendship lives to this day, and they still play important roles in each other's lives. The passion they share for football has always served as the common bond. By the age of 12, Figo had begun to dedicate himself to becoming the best footballer he could be. He joined the União Futebol Clube Os Pastilhas, a social and sports club where his father and uncle were members, and it was here that he went on to develop his extraordinary skills.
Bueno, la infancia no ha sido muy distinta de muchos otros niños. He tenido todo lo que he necesitado para poder tener.
Yes, my childhood was no different from other kids. I had everything I needed in order to have a happy childhood. I started playing football on the streets with my friends and neighbors, and then I went to Pastillas. I started playing there and I stayed for a year.
Pastillas, donde tenía mis amigos. Me inicié ahí, estuve un año.
Time and again, Luis Figo's club lost in the local Setúbal Championship. But Luis didn't let that get him down. He was happy with his personal success and with the fact that he was regarded as the most talented player in the region.